Good night, everyone. Thank you for tuning into Having a Conversation with Xavier, or Zay. Tonight, I have the pleasure of having one of my good friends, Maria Davis. How you doing, Maria Davis?
Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world.
So, Maria, tell everyone how I met before we go any further.
I don't know. How did we say we met?
At Pizzazz.
I can't remember. So, at Jackie's?
Yeah, Pizzazz.
Right, at Jackie's. That's right, at Jackie's. That's right. Our good friend, who's no longer with us, rest in peace, Jacqueline Allman.
Yes. Oh my God. That's
Pizzazz was a very special place. 333 Lennox Avenue.
Right.
That was on and popping. Everybody came through there. HIV/AIDS activists, community advocate. We did everything in there. Started our voters registration. I am the vote. We did everything in Pizzazz.
That was the line.
And we were so fortunate to have a friend that owned her own building.
Yes. That was the side I worked on. And Sylvia's the street, so we used to get traffic. I started working at 206. That's when I met you. 206. I started working there. So give us a little bit about you. Who's Maria Davis? Before I go into the question.
Who is Maria Davis? Let me think. Was born in Cincinnati, Ohio. Mother and father brought me here. My mother followed my father here. Mm-hmm. They got married. We lived on Whole Avenue for a little while, and then we moved into the South Bronx and Mount Haven projects.
Right.
And there is where I have most of my memories growing up as a child, going to PS 49, PS 149, and then Taft High School.
Right.
Wow. And that was the beginning of it. Loved to talk when I was a child. Yeah, my mother always used to tell me to be quiet, and we have to.
Were you raised in the church? You was raised in church?
We went to church, but my mother worked on the weekends, but she made sure she sent us to church. I never have any memories of us all going to church together unless we went down south to see our family. We spent a lot of summers in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we got a lot of our church upbringing from my grandfather and grandmother. And then I had a lot of friends coming up. I'd like to be around older people all the time. And my older friends, all of them were churchgoers.
Wow.
So my real introduction of a church that I really, really knew, we went to Methodist church. There was a Methodist church on the corner of where we grew up. And that's where we went. But my real finding my faith was through Y.T. Walker at at Canaan Baptist Church. And then I went from Canaan Baptist Church to First Corinthian Baptist Church. Y.T. Walker was at Canaan.
That was the original name. That was the original name of the church. Right?
No, Canaan was first. No, Canaan was first. That's what Canaan was on 116th between 7th and Lenox. First Corinthian is on the corner of 7th and 116th on the downtown side.
Right. I remember.
So those are the two churches. Those are the churches that have been in my life.
I remember because it's funny when Roberta Flack came to Jackie started doing Roberta Flack's hair. Roberta Flack used to always say, "Come on, Xavier, we're gonna hang out with Jackie," and that was her church. That was her church, and it was so good.
Yeah.
So Maria, this is the HIV/AIDS activist. Can you share what inspired you to become an HIV activist?
Well, that wasn't my plan to become an HIV/AIDS activist. You
Right.
know, I did not plan on getting HIV. I mean, you don't have to be have the virus to be an advocate, because I have many friends that are advocates for HIV and AIDS, and they don't have the virus. But that was not my plan. My plan was to be a model, to be a big time promoter, and that was my plan.
Okay.
And I cared a lot about people, so I guess God used the stage, Mad Wednesday, to really propel me and prepare me for the stage to be a voice for the voiceless.
Right, right. That's good. That's
And
good.
that, you know, becoming HIV positive, of course, also helped because, you know, in the beginning, of course, it was lots of denial. And then once first I was diagnosed with HIV in 1995. And then by 1998, I was diagnosed with AIDS. So that was a very short span between HIV and AIDS. And I went through a lot. You know, they said God can't use you when you're full of yourself. So he had to empty me out for me to be able to take on this mission that he had for me. Set me aside in a quiet place so that I could really focus on my relationship and then on the mission.
Right. And it's important. That's important. And how long you been doing it for?
Too long. Well, I really started being an activist when the book Souls of My Sisters came out, because that was the book at the time. You know, that's when I kind of came out, when I came out to the world that I was well, at that time when the book came out, I was living with AIDS. Okay. So that book really was the crutch, but also was what put me out there to the world that I was, you know, HIV positive. Although the book was about the music industry and me being a female promoter, Black woman in the male's world. But now I have AIDS. So how do I maneuver and work with what you have?
Right. So the act of, okay. What have been some of the most significant challenges and triumphs you faced in the advocacy work, being an African?
Well, the stigma. That was the first thing. That was the biggest challenge, the stigma. Right. You know, back then, everybody was afraid. Nobody knew where HIV came from. Same as COVID. People were scared. People were afraid. You know, it was a little more intensified with AIDS because people didn't know, and it was spreading, but they didn't know it only spread through sexual contact. They didn't know that you can't touch somebody and get it. And so all the myths that was out there. And then when I was diagnosed, you know, either you were a drug addict or you was a call girl. So that was what I always got. So how did you get HIV? Did you get it because you was sleeping around with everybody, or did you get it because you was doing drugs?
Wow.
And I didn't get it with neither. All you have to do is have sex one time, and you can get HIV.
That's true.
It could be with your husband, your significant other. But, you know, as African Americans, we tend to hang on the negative instead of becoming educated and getting right information, not misinformation, but the correct information.
Because back then, people were dying like flies. Back then.
Flies ain't even a word, honey. They was dying like COVID. They were dying like people died in the beginning of COVID.
And then they had different stages. They had HIV 1. They had HIV 2 in Africa.
HIV 2. HIV. It was only HIV 1 and HIV 2. When you talked about HIV 2, you talked about going from the doctor told you, he ain't even tell you had HIV. He told you got AIDS. That's what HIV 2 was. You straight to AIDS. You bypass HIV. because you had the virus in your system for so long and you were not getting tested. So at that point, they didn't know what point you caught HIV, how long you had it, but they know you had AIDS right then and there.
Right.
And you know, and HIV has many different strands of HIV. You have HIV 1, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. People don't even know that. The same thing with COVID. That's why they got to keep making vaccines, because COVID mutates into something different.
Yes, it does. It does. So, how does the public perception of HIV/AIDS change since you begun the actual work?
Well, people are not dying the way they used to die. We are living longer because the medications are so much better. Doesn't have all those side effects anymore. But it's still, African Americans still have the highest numbers of new infections. Men who have sex with men and our youth.
Right.
And then we have Black women. It's still number one. Black women are 13 times more likely to get HIV than any other ethnicity of women.
Right.
And why is that? HIV is a preventable disease. We still should not be here with HIV.
It should have been a cure too.
It should have been, but you can't cure something because it mutates. So there's not like a base that you can work from.
Right.
Like the flu and like a cold, you know, there's a base you can work from. Can you get other flus? Yes, but there's still the base flu. So you can get vaccinated for the base flu, and then it'll help you when the other different flus come up, the bird flu or whatever flu come around. But there's still a base. HIV doesn't have a base because there's so many different strands of HIV.
Right. So
too many mutations.
Let me ask you this, because I need for you to say it loud. Now, someone told me that they were taking PrEP, right? And they're not positive. Said to them, even though you take PrEP, you can still get STDs and stuff. And they would say, "Oh, no, there's a very chance you can get STDs."
Absolutely. No.
You can't get STDs with that.
The only way. That's right. And you know how many people have HIV and have syphilis and gonorrhea together? I ain't even gonna tell you them stories of people getting tested in the health department, and they come in there HIV positive with 2 STDs. Now that's crazy. Well, 2 STIs, because there's a difference now. STD is sexually transmitted disease. Diseases can't be cured, but an infection can be cured. So chlamydia, syphilis, and the other ST infections can be cured. The only ones can't be cured is all the H's, except for Hep C. Hep C can be cured now, but HIV there's no cure. Hepatitis there's no cure. HPV there's no cure. They do give the vaccines, but all of the H's there are no cures.
Okay. So you're saying to me, anyone that takes PrEP, they can't come out with STD? That's what you're saying?
Yes, they can. PrEP. You can.
Go ahead.
He's wrong. You know why? Because they didn't push. They don't push condoms. Although you might be undetectable and it can keep you from getting HIV, it cannot keep you from getting pregnant. It cannot keep you from getting sexually transmitted infections. Right.
I told them, I said I used to read up on that because I didn't understand if you're negative, why are you taking HIV medications? And I said to him, you need to educate yourself.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. So
yeah, because you picking sex. You picking sex over
protection.
You picking sex over protection.
Right.
Or sex really over your life.
Right. It's true.
That means you can't control your sexual urges, so that's why you need to take PrEP. I mean, I get it. You know, you heavily involved in, you know, making sure you feel good. But I would like to
Right.
make sure I feel good. I feel good.
Right. Protected. Protected. So let me ask you this: someone that would, if someone was newly diagnosed, how would you give them advice?
Diagnose.
Yes.
Know that you can live. HIV does not define who you are. AIDS does not define who you are. What defines who you are is what you take with the time that God has blessed you to be here and what you do with that time. Get
Right.
educated about any illness that you have. I don't care if you got diabetes, high blood pressure, you educate yourself. That's what empowered me. The education that Dr. Joseph Sonoman gave me all the time, that Dr. Mack gave me, that Dr. Marlene Taylor gave me, that Charles Shorter from Ryan Center, all the people, Deborah Fraser Hauser, Deborah Levine, the National Black Leadership Commission on AIDS, all of these different organizations, HCCI, all these different organizations gave me education and information.
Right. And that's important. And that's very important.
And love. And love and prayer.
And a circle
But
of,
faith without works is dead.
right, and a circle of friends.
And yep. Circle
I
of
believe
supporters, great supporters.
Right, great support, and I believe you need therapy too. It helps you keep you balanced.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So Maria,
Even if
tell
you
us
don't, mental health.
mental health what?
Huh?
You said mental
health
what?
is very serious. Mental health is a whole is very serious. You know,
Yes,
besides, let's not even talk about HIV and AIDS. Let's talk about just living in on this earth. That in itself is perplexing. You dealing with the everyday, the violence in our community, you know, the trauma in our community, the people, you know, since after COVID, things changed. People changed.
People change.
Things are not like they used to be.
No, it's not. It's not. So, Maria, so tell us what happened with you this week. That you got inducted. You got recognized.
I got a resolution, Mad Wednesdays for his 30th birthday, received a resolution from the New York State Senate. And so Senator Cordell Clear presented the proposal and they agreed. And so I was honored on May 22nd at the Capitol in Albany.
Wow, that's a blessing, Marie. Listen, you have paved the way, you know, for you to be recognized and while you're living. That's a great thing. Great thing.
And you know what was even greater? That my grandbaby was there to experience it. That she knows that she can do the same thing that I'm doing. And it's important to care about people and it's important to help people. But of course, help and care about yourself first, because you can't do nothing for nobody else if you don't have self-care for yourself.
Right.
So, you know, it was great. She was there. Peyton Rose, Ajna couldn't come, but my son Scotch was there. So him and my daughter took turns because the couple of days before that Saturday on the 18th of May, I was honored by the New York alumni chapter of Delta Theta Sigma Incorporated. So they honored me at their scholarship dinner. And that was fabulous. So Jonna was there with me on that one. So my kids take turns.
Right. So let's talk about the music industry. How did you get into the music industry?
Well, I started modeling. I wanted to model. That was my dream, to model. And so I'll never forget, you know, I was dating a gentleman named Lance Hayes, and his mother was dating a photographer, a white French photographer. And I never forget meeting Reggie Wells. Rest in peace, Reggie Wells, makeup artist extraordinaire, did Oprah, did everybody's face. But he worked in fashion fair at Macy's at the time, and that's where I met him. And I said to him, I wanted to model. He said, prove it to me. Bring me back some pictures. So Larita's husband took the pictures. I mean, man, the guy she was dating took the pictures. Fabulous pictures, still have them to this day. And that's what propelled me. I was with Pat Evans modeling agency. She was a all black. She was the model that was on the Ohio Players album, the bald-headed woman, Pat Evans. So that's who represented us. We were with Pat Evans modeling agency.
Right. Wow.
But back when I was modeling, we had some powerful sisters that shared information. We shared go-sees, we shared job opportunities. There was no cat fighting. It was all love.
Right. Wow. That's a good thing. So
and so I started with the modeling. And the modeling started getting into, I was working at this restaurant called the Cellar Restaurant, and the Cellar would have Chaka Khan, Phyllis Hyman, a bunch of celebrities. And then I went from that to hosting parties. I started with the fashion shows and the parties. And then, meeting Russell Simmons, Dougie Fresh, Andre Harrell, Puffy, all of them. And that propelled me into doing a music showcase, I started parties earlier than that. I had different comedians too. I had a good friend named Bob Sumner who was doing Def Comedy Jam. He hadn't started yet because we all started at the National Black Theater, where the comedy started there with the Brown Brothers and Monteria Ivy, and rest in peace, Monteria Ivy. And, all of that, me being involved in all of that started Mad Wednesdays. My good friend Shelly Brooks and her partner Jean was the bookers. And she kept saying, Maria, you need to be in Mad Wednesday. You need to do a weekly showcase. And I was like, girl, get out of here. And that's how I started Mad Wednesday.
Wait, so you wasn't trying to do that back?
I was giving parties, but I wasn't doing nothing. I mean, sometimes it was weekly, but I wasn't doing nothing on the level that I did it at Mad Wednesdays. Right.
I remember I came there a couple of times and sang. It was so nervous. It was so nerve-wracking. I remember Bob Lee. What's his name? Bob Lee. He would come.
Dr. Bob Lee.
Dr. Bob Lee. They did something years ago. We went to some restaurant. I had a red shirt on and I sung, and I said, "Oh my God, I'm singing out here." I said, It was a restaurant. We were celebrating your birthday. That was years ago.
And you talking about Soul Cafe? Soul Cafe on 42nd Street? Yes. That's where Shayla was too. Shayla and Lenny Green did their showcase there too.
Wow. That was good. I mean, back then it was so good. So let me ask you, the difference of then to now, do you see anything different from when you started to now?
Well, we didn't have the internet. We were the internet.
Right.
You called the friends, a friend told a friend told a friend told a friend. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have all these little fancy things. We didn't have Facebook. We didn't have none of that.
Right.
And our network was our net worth. Right. So that's who we had around us. We had email lists. You phone call people, you fax. That's how you did stuff.
Right.
And I remember going up to the record companies and faxing everybody in the record company about my parties that was coming up. I had Little Ben. I had Footy. Back then you had the street teams. You hired a couple of them. They was giving out your flyers because then you had the tunnel, and you had other parties that was going on. But at that time, I was the only Black female promoter, only Black woman. It was all men promoters back then.
Did you feel disrespected? Did you feel disrespected sometimes to the men because you're the only woman, or do they? No, I was no joke. They didn't play with me. Nobody did. And if you disrespected me, I was fighting you. Wow.
So they did know that. I had a fly mouth and a fly fist, and
Wow.
did not care. I would slap you in a minute. I ain't care. That ain't the godly way. I know better now, but back then, you know, you couldn't let nobody disrespect you as a woman. That's how Mad Wednesday wound up lasting 30 years.
Right. And that was good. Because I've come to your shows. I've seen the talent that comes up. Some of them, I remember the last time I went, some producer was talking to the audience, the singers, and he said some people have it and some people don't have it, and you need to see that you don't really have the talent. If you don't have the talent, you shouldn't be singing. Do something else. But
That's what
singers,
that must have been Ahmed. That was Ahmed from Powers in Industry. That's Ahmed telling
yes,
them, talking to them. But you know, sometimes it's just trial and error.
yes,
Sometimes a person has to get on the stage to realize, you know what, maybe I don't need to be on the stage. Maybe I can be behind. Maybe I can write for animation. Maybe I can write a song for a movie. There's so many aspects of the music industry. Being on the stage is not the only one.
right. That's true. That's true. So, tell us about how did you get abducted? No, honored the godmother of hip hop.
That was through my friend Rob and Rob Love, who used to work at Def Jam, and also my friend Pain in the Ass, who's the guy on Jay-Z's album We're Gonna Reload It. And then it was Alf, just a kid from Harlem, and it was Bob Sumner from Def Comedy Jam. We was talking one night, and then we were talking about I Am the Vote, how we gonna do voters engagement, which we did with Senator Cordell Clear from Harlem, and we registered for that the first Biden and Trump campaign. We registered over 2,000 people, participants to vote. And so Rob said, you know what? Everybody calls me auntie, and I'm like a mother to them. So they was like, you're godmother in hip hop.
I thought it was because of the music. That's why you was a duck. That's why they were honoring you. That's what I thought you got that for.
No, I got that. And during the pandemic, they gave that name to me. They bought a big truck with my picture on it. Wayne, I ain't gonna call him Pain in the Ass. Wayne has an advertisement truck, and he bought the advertisement truck to Harlem. And that's when we was outside doing the parties at Jackie, and they called different people, and they bought the truck, and it said "Godmother of Hip Hop." It was really nice.
Wow.
And then I got a proclamation from Brian Benjamin saying that September 18th is Maria Davis Day.
So Maria, when we were at Pizzazz, those functions was because of you at Pizzazz. When we used to have, remember we used to have what's his name? Capone used to come to the salon and do. Capone came through.
Well, Jackie. Mike. Yeah, Mike Epps was a friend of mine, but you know, Judy worked across the street at Sylvia's, my good friend Judy. So she was always in tune with Mike Epps too.
Okay, because I remember.
So Jackie also knew celebrities too. So she definitely knew the Capones and some of the people. But I bought I did a couple of filmings in Jackie's spot too. I did that BET, and we did a piece on HIV and women. And when they had that book out by J.L. King, Down Low, that's not even around no more.
No, and, but I'm in this group on Facebook. I told him I would like to interview him, and I think he's scared for me to interview him.
Oh, yeah, that went out the window.
But he said he's been writing more. I don't know what he's writing. I don't know. So give me some kind of names that like singers that you have met, or actors or rappers that you've known through the music industry.
Exhibit. Mike Epps, Mike Phillips, saxophone players, Darius Rucker of Hootie and the Blowfish, Life Jennings, Jay-Z, 50 Cent, Deborah Cox, Brandy, Brian McKnight, Lade, Big L, Children of the Corn, something Loon from G-Dep. It was a group. What's his name? Loon was with Puffy, but before it was with Puffy, was in a group called Crime Fam, and they performed for me all the time. McGruff, you know, DJ Pooh from the West Coast, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Little Kim, Black Girls, Missy Elliott, Monica,
and Missy Elliott,
112.
So down to earth. Wow, 112.
Yeah.
Wow. That's good. That's good.
So I've had a lot of artists come through. Chrisette Michelle.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. So how do you feel at this age when you looking back, the life you lived as an activist and being in the inside of music? How do you feel now at this age when looking back?
It's good, but you know, I'm gonna tell you, it would have been some things that I did differently with my children. You know, those are some of the things that you think about, you know, in your journey, you know, doing things different with my children. I mean, they got exposed, you know, went to Rough Rider camps, got to go to different shows. But, you know, I wish I was a little more, you know, connected in some of their everyday life, because I was a bartender, I was a mother, I was a hustler. You know, I had a great support system. Grandma Chris, the Tompkins was my big support system. Then I had my Latinos up on Dykeman Street where I was living at the time. So, you know, I had a great support system, but I wish I would have spent more time with my children.
But it seemed like from when I came around, covered. It seemed like because when I was hanging with you, your children was always with you. So it looked, even though saying that you wasn't always there, but they were there with you. They support you.
Yeah, they do. It's a fight sometimes, but they do.
Because even your son is
because they've been doing it all their life.
Isn't your son singing?
No, my son's a hip hop artist. He's a hip hop. He's an excellent hip hop artist, and he hosts Mad Wednesdays with me.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying. He does some part of the show. That's what I'm saying. Your daughter comes around and supports. But You've always has a support system, even though they grew into the acting.
Through my children. Yes, through my children, absolutely.
Right. So Maria, tell us a little about the AIDS walk. I promised you when I first met you, I would do the AIDS walk every year with you. That was my give back to my community.
Yeah, you don't skip on some years. Wait, did you come? No, you came last year.
Yeah,
and then the 2 years prior to that, there was no AIDS walk.
Right, because of all.
Yeah, you was there last year.
Yeah. I couldn't go this year. I had too many funerals that weekend. I was so dead tired I couldn't even move. So I didn't come this year, but
you was dead tired. Did you wake up?
Huh?
I said you was dead tired. Did you wake up?
Yes, I woke up. I just was sleeping. No, because that week I went to a friend's funeral the Saturday morning. I had to sing at a funeral. A neighbor of mine died in Harlem where I used to live. Her daughter asked me to speak, and I sung. And then Friday, the choir died, and it was a musical. We had to sing Friday and Saturday. And I was just exhausted. I said, oh my God, I can't do no more funerals for a while. But no, I've always enjoyed the AIDS walk because you would bring the radio station and all these stars and singers would come march with us. Those were the days we would really wreck the and on the blowhorn you would have people sing. or rap.
We had Egypt from BLS walk with us. What that you see Egypt now? She does Married to Real Estate. Her and her husband are doing very well in Atlanta. Very, very well. She took a chance and stepped out on faith and got into real estate, and now she's a mover and shaker in real estate.
Wow, that's a blessing. Wow, that's what I'm saying. I've met so many people doing the AIDS walk with you for all these years that everybody wanted to. I remember you had all the students from the high school to walk with you, and you have the radio station. And then when we walk a certain place, WBLS or Kiss FM will give you a shout out. Maria Davis, the Soul Runners. No, the Mad Soul Runners.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
Yeah. But you know, it's kind of, I have to talk to them because it has died down. And I think they have to reinvent themselves. You know, I understand about the LGBTQ community and all of that. But you need to now be embracing, you need to bring Black churches out there to do choir music and stuff like that. They've never done that. I think they need to reinvent themselves.
Come together. So, how would it happen? Someone has to write a letter to the organization and suggest that?
No, I'm going to talk to Tom. Yeah. Maybe we should write a letter and say it's time for y'all to reinvent yourself, because it's the same old. The drag queen singing, out there taking pictures. That's great, but you need to have some other stuff. Hip hop is happening right now. You should have celebrated 50 years of hip hop during the AIDS walk. That would have brought some people. Because Eazy-E died of AIDS. You got celebrities that you know had HIV or succumbed to AIDS.
Right. So maybe we have to do that and suggest that the churches should get involved. No discrimination, coming together and going for the cause. Like in breast cancer, everybody does breast cancer and they come and support. There's no argument. But
that's right.
When it's the AIDS,
Shaniqua from the project, and Carolyn from BMI. Everybody's out there for breast cancer. All walks of life, all genres of life, all levels of life.
Right.
Cancer does not discriminate. HIV does not discriminate. AIDS do not. They don't care how much money you have. They don't care about your skin color. They don't care about who you are, what bachelor's degree you didn't get, what GED you didn't get. Cancer and diseases do not care about none of that.
So do you think HIV...
That's the thing that...
Let me ask you something. Do you think cancer and AIDS or HIV are similar? Because it seemed like those were the longest that they can't get a cure.
And not even that. Cancer it depends on where it comes, how it pops up, how it shows up. And we could do better in helping it not show up through changing the way we eat. Because we're getting people younger and younger that is developing cancer.
Right. It's true.
And it's about the food, the environment, the stress. It's all hand in hand, tearing us down on our insides. That's why self-care is so important. I was running late because a young woman from Harlem Children's Zone, they did their Mother's Day today. Mm-hmm. So I had a massage. I had dinner. I made a candle. You know, and I took my time to do that. I normally don't do that.
Right.
And I said today, I'm going to go make me a candle and I'm going to go get me a massage.
Right. And how was it? How did you feel? Pampered? How did you feel?
Excellent. Excellent. Oh, my God. Excellent.
So Harlem is the place to be, Maria, right? Do you think out of all the...
I don't know. Harlem... I think personally Brooklyn is more together than Harlem. Politically, Brooklyn is more together than Harlem. Harlem politicians is all over the place. You know, it's the same old. We need new blood. We need new thinkers. We need new vision. You know, Harlem is the Mecca. And, you know, we've had some greatness come out of Harlem. But now we got the crappy people coming out of Harlem.
Yeah.
You know, that forget living in Harlem. The rent is ridiculous now.
But the rent going up.
You know, they gentrifying everywhere.
But hold on. The rent is
what that man used to say. Remember that man?
Which one?
And what that man used to say? The rent too damn high. And everybody was laughing at him at the time. And what everybody's saying now, the rent too damn high.
But listen to this. Someone said to me today, the rent is going up because of Democrats. I said that's not true because the people that are on the board are Republicans.
Oh, Lord.
I said don't.
The rent is going up because of greedy realtors. That's why the rent is going up. And we have nobody speaking up for the people. That's why the rent is going up. Has nothing to do with the Democrats or Republican. We do not vote in local elections. We don't vote during no time of the year, but when the president affects us, but the local people affect us even more. So that means the funding of schools, the funding of senior centers, the housing, affordable housing. Well, let's stop saying affordable because it's affordable to who? Let's say low income housing in our community. All of that is being lost.
Yes, it is. And they were saying that the rent is going up next month 7% more than what people get paid. How are you?
Because we have to come together and we have to do the work. We have to march on the Capitol, on lobby days. We need to be jumping on buses, going to speak to these people, telling them what they're doing. We put you in office and you're not representing us. That's what we need to do. With Black people, we sit back and we complain. And we complain. And we complain. When the other people writing letters, telling people they ain't going to vote for them, getting all of the whole community not to vote for them. So then they have a voice at the table. We don't even have, we're not even at the table, honey. We under the table.
They're under the table because when I lived in the Bronx, I went to go to the local meetings. I used to go to the meetings, and that's how I got into the newspaper.
Community board.
Yes, I used to go to these meetings, and then one day I had to write a serious letter to Como and have him investigate my Lord Mark Stagg. He would go around New York City billing all these billings so quickly. It's not insulated properly. You're dealing with rodents, bugs, people stealing, and then he blame it on the people. So I had to wrong. Politicians are lazy. Nobody really, they want the vision of what.
Yep, it's sad. But either we gonna get it right, or we gonna leave our children no legacies, no future.
It's true. It's true. We got to get plans because I deal with the Board of Elections. I'm a poll worker. I do basically everything when I go. They'll send me to be a poll worker. I'm the coordinator how to do her iPad. I've been doing it for 10 years. Coordinator and
yeah.
Too. People need to vote. Did you hear what happened today with Trump?
He ain't going to jail though. He need to go to jail. He should not be running for president. He should not be running for president with all of those felonies on him, with all that crime he's done. He should not be running for president. This is nonsense.
It is.
But look, he got the Republicans to back them. The Democrats got to get their backing together.
They do. And go out. I was just
of course. And register to vote. We have a primary on June 25th. Mm-hmm. On the first day of early voting is the day you can register and vote at the same time. That very first day of early voting, which will be on Saturday, June 15th. That first day of early voting, you can register to vote and vote that day. That's a law that they passed.
But Maria, listen to this. They have to be educated too, because people are telling me nonsense. Oh, I'm going to vote for Trump. And Trump ain't doing nothing for the people. When he get into office, he want to change the Constitution. He want to change everything. Black people are saying,
can I tell you? If he get in there, he ain't coming out. I can tell you that now. If we let him get in office, he is not going to come out. He's going to think of put some law down that he can stay president as long. He's trying to be a dictator. He loves Putin. He loves Putin. He loves all of them people, you know, in Iran and or Iraq and all. He loves them. That's what he wants to be. He wants to be a dictatorship. Like in China, he wants to be that. So black people can vote for him and Latinos can vote for him all they want because they think they're going to get a check. But they better think bigger than that. It's not about money right now. It's about your rights. And they're stripping them away from us.
And he's taking it away from the women.
No, Wade versus Roe.
Roe, right.
Diversity, inclusion. All of that. They taking all of those rights away. Now, I don't know if anybody knew that in is it Ohio University? One of the universities, they decided that they're not going to give the opportunity to give black scholarships no more. They might have the grades and might have the great academics, but don't have the resources to go to a good college.
Right.
Ohio State.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. They're trying to wash away anything black, even in Florida. They're trying to get rid of all the black books, banning them.
No, not trying. He has no black history. He had. And I don't even know how he gets to be the governor over there. They should be boycotting in an outrage.
It's true. It's true. It's true. See, and
but I'm gonna tell you one thing.
Yes.
That Jasmine Crockett, y'all better follow her. That girl, what she told her? She said the butch. What she said? Bleach blonde, butch body. All right, Jasmine Crockett. Shout out to you. That's my Shiro right now. That's the new Maxine Waters.
Yes, the younger version.
That's the new Barbara Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
That's the new John Lewis. Yes. And she know her shit too. Yes. And she's a lawyer. She's the bomb.com, honey.
And that's why they can't mess with her. And there's other ladies.
That's why they can't mess. Because she knows her. When you know what you know, because you're educated and you read and you're smart, that's what you get, Jasmine Crockett. They say AOC, y'all can have AOC because she ain't nothing but hot air. She don't do nothing.
She go back and forth. She get on my nerves. Oh my God.
She just became a celebrity. She's a celebrity politician now.
Right. She got
a bar with nobody. Right. Why she didn't speak on when Hochul said that children in the Bronx don't know what a computer is? She ain't speak up for that. And they was talking about her district. And you ain't say one word to Hochul.
No, not at all.
Come on, don't play.
But you have you have other women in Congress that speak up to the Republicans also. I watch Martin Reed show, watch Al Sharpton, and I watch other people. And when I hear how these other senators speak, comes with the facts. They dumbness. They can't see. And that's what I understand. Person that guilty, but I can't wait to it's coming on in Atlanta. Anyway, so what's anything going on now? What's the new stuff? Anything new?
Well, still, you know, keep on doing the health thing, and my summer plans on being registering people to vote, so that when the general election comes out November 2nd, we need everybody out there. We need everybody. Anybody that's 18 and over, and they're going to be 18 by the time we vote, we need them registered. We need to do civic engagement. We need to tell them it's not just about the money. It's about what else goes on, about the judges being stacked up as Supreme Court judges for a lifetime, that they just reversing everything. Yeah, they just looking at the small piece. You're looking at a check when we need to be looking at the future.
Right.
And, you know, I do the prostate van and the mammogram van. I call it Super Sunday at my church. I just had it last Sunday. And, you know, talking about HIV and different health disparities and cancer. I went I'm on the cancer cab, Herbert Irving, and they sent about 20 of us to City College, and we did a program called Disrupt. We became community scientists. So they put us in front of the top researchers, cancer researchers, and estheticians, and the people that write the grants and the money, and the people that do the trials. And they educated us so that we could go back in the community as a trusted voice and disseminate some of this information. We can change cancer through the way we eat. We got to eat better. We got to drink more water. And we got to get more sleep.
And buy an air fryer. I cook with my air fryer.
Even if you don't buy an air fryer, do plant. No, greens. We need to get more of green vegetables in our system. We don't eat enough greens. I'm with a program called Heart Smart. I told you, my Aunt Joanne got me in. I got a whole lot of other people. We doing sprouts now. We growing our own sprouts to eat. You know, sprouts change your microbiome in your stomach. We got stomach problems. Everybody got stomach problems. We eating grease, sugar, salt, and oil is our worst enemies, and we eat that well. Cheese, dairy. Go look at the documentary called "What's the Health?" That'll change on. Go look at Soul Food Junkies, Food Inc. Watch them documentaries, and I'm telling you, I guarantee you, we gotta exercise more. You should be walking every day. You should try to do at least 10,000 steps a day, and not just walking slow, but fast walking. We need our heart. We need cardio, so that when you become older, you don't have to worry about falling all over the place and being afraid to come out and all that, because your body is built up.
Right. I walk every day. One thing about me living in Brooklyn, I've always walked in Brooklyn. I will take the bus going, and I got my Fitbit.
I've already done 10,121 steps today.
Wow.
I walked everywhere today. I walked everywhere.
Right. But you know what? I walked yesterday I took the bus to Flatbush Junction. And I live in 96. I walked all the way home by drinking my water. I make my water with ginger tea, lemon juice, honey, and a little.
How much water do you drink a day? How much water do you drink a day?
Like 2 gallons a day, or 2 big bottles.
We should be drinking half our body weight. So if you're 180 pounds, you should be drinking 90 ounces of water. But the minimum is 64 ounces a day.
Right.
Because the body's made up of water.
So, Maria, tell us, when you throw parties, I want to know who's the cook in you. Because you could throw down in the kitchen. I said you throw down in the kitchen. You love to cook.
I ain't cooking these days because I eat too much. I'm trying to lose some weight. So I'm trying to do the plant-based. I'm keeping watermelon. I'm keeping watermelon in my refrigerator, grapes, oranges, kiwi, the stuff to make you feel light.
That's for the summer or for the all year round.
All year round. We got to put fruits in our body. Fruits and vegetables.
Because I normally eat watermelon all the time. And mangoes. Mango watermelon is
and you should not be eating seedless. Anything seedless has been genetically modified.
Right. So how's the Maria? Who's the Maria at church?
The same Maria every day. I don't change. I'm crazy. I be outside telling people, take the condoms. We got small, medium, and large. Don't ask me for large if you're small. I tell them we got the prostate ban coming, and you ain't got to spread your cheeks. It's only a blood test. Yeah, I'm crazy. I'm still the same Maria. I still got work to do on myself.
Right, but we all do that. We all do. I thank God for that. I'm 55 and I'm thanking God for the new change, the new me. I'm laughing more. I'm not allowing anything to hold me back. That's why I said it's a good thing to work on yourself and eat better and feel better and find a therapist and be healed and walk in your healing. And that's how I'm living. You know,
walk in your authentic self. Walk in your authentic self.
Yes.
The real you. Not the you that the world wants you to be, but the real you that God wants you to be.
Right. Maria, let me ask you this. Who's your role models that you have followed through the years and who you still love to this day?
Oh, man. Wyatt T. Walker. Mother Ella, who was on the forefront of HIV and AIDS, who was with Miss Dolores Moon and them before Harlem United was Harlem United, was called The Door. Mother Ella, a gym in the community. Pastor Michael A. Wallen, Reverend Lakeisha, not because they're my pastors, but because they are the bomb.
Right.
They give the word. They liberate you. And that's what being a disciple of Jesus Christ is all about, liberation. That you're able to think on your own, read scripture on your own, have discernment on your own, that you don't have to follow behind a pastor and his words, because you're going to read the word for yourself.
Right. That's
and Harriet Tubman. Oh my God, Harriet Tubman. She said she would have freed 1,000 more slaves if they knew they were slaves. I loved her because she carried a gun and she would shoot anybody that she would thought would jeopardize the movement.
Right.
I love Adam Clayton Powell. No, I love Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. I loved Medgar Evers. You know, Barbara Jordan. Barbara Jordan was a banger in the Senate back in the day. I love Leontine Price, the famous opera singer that was freaking incredible. Shirley Chisholm.
Yes.
We have some Mother Hale who used to take care of the call girls or the women at night, took care of their children and nursed the babies that was HIV positive to HIV negative through her food, through the food in her garden. They keep talking about reversing HIV. She was the first person to reverse HIV, Mother Hale. Her more.
And she took away the stigma from HIV. She had a house in Harlem that she
sure did. A brownstone. That she took care of the babies. She took care of the babies, the mothers that were in the streets at night.
Yes.
So, you know, we have some serious shoulders to stand on. And, you know, it's so crazy. Yesterday, they gave Willie Nelson a 90th birthday party. I did not know Snoop did a song with Willie Nelson.
Really?
See, but that's why we have to expand our thinking. Yes, honey. He did 2 songs. Might have did more than 2. One was about rolling up weed rolling up weed when you die. I was like, yeah, Willie Nelson would do a song with him like that, but he did another song too. But then I found out about this incredible jazz artist, blues artist named Gary Clark.
Wow.
40 years old, mixing hip hop and blues. I was like, wow.
Right.
We got to expand. We can't be in a box. We got to come out we got to come to the outside. Like you can't be in the doors of the church and say that you love the community. If you love the community, you come outside the doors. You get your hands dirty. You do what needs to be done. Whether that's feeding the homeless, pantry, whatever, saying a prayer, giving somebody I got a lady to buy prayer cards for me. I sell African-American expressions, Black gifts, and they have these prayer cards, and she buys them from me like in a bulk. And she takes a prayer card and put $1, and every time she sees somebody on the street homeless, she gives them that prayer card and $1.
Right.
You know, these are small things that we can do. They don't have to be big. We ain't got to have a lot of money to help people. You just got to have the heart and the faith.
That's true. That's true. That's true. So let me ask you this. What would be your legacy that you would, what would be the legacy to do behind the both of the music and the HIV community now? Be your legacy. The HIV and the music.
Just keep continuing until I take my last breath. And, you know, inspire other people to do the same thing. And that you don't have to be me. God made you you. And he made you you. And the you means that you are unique.
Right.
And being unique, know that God gave each and every one of us our own gifts to contribute to the world. And that the gifts he gave us wasn't for us. The gift he gave us was to share with other people. And that's the gift of love, the gift of laughter, the gift of forgiveness, the gift of caring, and, you know, the gift of helping people be better through seeing you become better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, what would the advice you would give a young person that would want to start in the business like what you did in the HIV? How would they learn about the HIV music if they wanted to start in this business? What would advice you would give them to start in this business?
Get around people that know more than you. That's what I had to do. I had to find people that knew what I needed to know. I didn't know nothing about HIV. So I surrounded myself around people that knew about HIV. But I also surrounded myself people around faith. And the greatest thing is I still had the music industry. That was the best thing. And then I was able to give them, when young people come through my door, have you been tested? Stop the foolishness. Stop listening to all this crazy music out here. You know, your music should transcend. If you make music now, people should be able to listen to your music 100 years from now.
Right.
Marvin Gaye, Barry White, Isaac Hayes, Jerry Butler, The Temptations, the OJs, Mahalia Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people that are no longer with us. We still singing their music. And people that are still with us that started, Diana Ross, Smokey Robinson, Eddie Kendricks, David Ruffin. Some of these people are no longer with us, but we still sing. We're still singing their music and still know the words. Patti LaBelle, Gladys Knight.
Happy birthday, Patty and Gladys Knight.
And some about
was yesterday.
Right. Happy birthday, Patty and Gladys Knight. Roberta Flack, Mtume.
Right.
Johnny Kemp.
I remember Cedric Entertainment used to come to the salon too. When we used to go at what's the theater on Michael Magic Johnson Theater? That's what we used to do this hair. That's what we used to do the hair shows, and they would have the community there. The comedians would come there. Oh my God, they used to have us on the floor, Capone, Michael Epps, and Cedric, and then we would do the hair show, fashion
Don't
show.
forget talent. Don't forget talent and Hamburger and some of
Yeah,
my other comedians that are Omar in Harlem. We got Jamie Roberts that owns the comedy in Harlem. They were on
right,
the east side. Now they up on St. Nicholas. They just moved to where the
right,
porch used to be up there on 147th in St. Nicholas.
right. So you have seen so many things. So let me ask you this: the impact on health. How was your role as an activist impact the approach to health and wellness now? I think we did talk about that.
Yeah, all initiatives. I'm a part. I'm in everything. Anything that I can bring information to my community, I'm involved in. I'm a community scientist. I told you, Columbia Presbyterian. I'm on the Herbert Irving Cancer Cab. I'm on the Manhattan Interfaith Department of Health Cab. Anywhere I can get information. I work with Ryan Health, the National Black Leadership Commission on Health. Any place I can get information from, I get.
Right. That's a good
I
thing.
work with the
Thing.
church. I work with Iris House. So First
Maria,
Corinthian Baptist Church is doing incredible work in the community.
So let me ask you this: what would be your last statement or closing statement that you would tell everyone? Who's Maria Davis? How could they find you? What's your handle? You can give me a statement.
Well, the statement I would give is we got to love each other, love on each other more. Love on yourself so that you can learn to love others.
Right.
Stop being the crab. We got to stop being the crabs in the barrel, not be afraid to share information, not be afraid to lift each other up, and just continuing to empower how the ancestors did and how they was for each other and how they wanted better for us. We got to want better for us too. We got to want better for the next generation. And I think we've lost that. We're so mesmerized with social media and who got this and who where and who's following you. Half them people that follow you don't even know you, and they would not even save your life. So we have to do better. Get out there, register to vote. Make sure you vote. Don't just register, but get out and vote. And then bring somebody with you. Make sure your neighbors in your building, down the hall, across the hall, people that you interact with and talk to, make sure they're registered to vote. And don't be afraid to speak out and talk to people. And if you want to find me, my email is mariaspeaksout@gmail.com. mariaspeaksout@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram at Davis_Maria13, Facebook Maria Davis, and Google me. You can also go to my website, Can't Be Silenced, my non-for-profit organization, which I need to remember that all the time. My non-for-profit 501c3 organization is called Can't Be Silenced. And so you can go on my website, www.can'tbesilenced.org, and you can make a donation there also.
Right.
So I'm celebrating 30 years of hip. I'm celebrating 30 years being in the music industry and in the health industry. And I'll be celebrating the rest of the year. You can come to the shrine every third Wednesday of the month. The next date that I have on the shrine where they're going to be re-giving me my resolution that was given to me in Albany is on June 19th, which is very historical to me that my Mad Wednesday is going to be on Juneteenth. So I'm very excited about that. And I'm inviting all the community to come and see me get my resolution from our senator in Harlem, 30th District, Senator Cordell Clear.
I'm so proud of you, Maria. I am so proud of my all these years. I've always, you can call me, say, Xavier, I'm doing this, and I'll be there. I'm grateful for you to be obedient and do the will of the Lord. The Lord has called you to do ministry, and whatever it is, you do 100%, or 100 plus. You know, like I would say 100 plus 50. You would do a little bit more. You give your, and I'm glad they're honoring you. I'm glad that you're getting your prompts while you're alive. Some people get prompts when they get it, they don't even know. But I'm grateful to God for giving you your prompts. You honored it, and you need it. You need it to be honored now. And I thank God for you all these years. And when I asked you last come on, I wasn't ready, but I was ready this year. And I thank God for our friendship. Thank God for just sharing who Maria Davis is. Got me blushing, girl.
Thank you.
So Maria, thank you for coming. Everyone, thank you for tuning in to having a conversation with Zay. I'm happy and I'm proud of you being on my platform. And we will talk again soon. Everyone, have a blessed night.
Have a blessed night. God bless you.